And hello, everyone. Welcome back to FPL in the Trenches Frontline Prediction League. In the Trenches Frontline League over on X, Frontline Prediction League right here on YouTube. Like, favorite, subscribe, all that fun stuff. We do appreciate it. I'm your co-host Scott. Joining me as always is BeerMe. BeerMe, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself, Scott?
I'm good. I'm cold. Kind of. Not really. It's warm in here. But it's cold and icy outside. We always talk about the weather earlier, which is kind of funny because we always talk about it here also. But when it's +4 and raining and then drops to -4, that means everything freezes and it's ice everywhere. And you don't take your dog for a walk, and she's very sad and mad at you. So, yeah, that's my day. How's it been your way, though? You said windy is more what you have, right?
Very windy. To put it into perspective, when my dad was coming home earlier, it was 40 degrees out, but with the wind, it was down to like 15. So that's how windy it is here.
That sounds real stupid cold. That's normally what we get.
Yeah.
We get like when it gets really starts getting cold is 19, 20 below, and then the wind chill bumps it to like 25, 26, sometimes into the 30s. We did have a -31 the other day. We didn't go anywhere of that, but yeah. But
Mm.
that's like end of the world stuff. Haha, get it, World's End. We got to do a segment, guys. We only got a few more left of this because this is the last episode of the year, if I'm correct. Because we will have, I believe, an episode next week. Beer and I are coordinating that, even though, yes, Thursday's Christmas. We're going to work something out. But I'll tell you right now, guys, you don't need to watch that one necessarily, aside to remember to get your picks in, because we're going to announce the last of the matches this week for it. There might always be stuff that comes up, but as far as we've got everything booked, aside from, people who put their picks in, and as always, if you put your picks in, you will get on the card. If you're not booked into stuff we're talking about here. So please, please, please do it. As a main show counts towards your Rumble appearances. I think there's one or two people that do need to show up here to qualify for the Rumble. But this is kind of the last trenches. You don't need to watch it on Christmas. But hey, you'll have time. It'll be a quick 5-10 minute one about, hey, don't forget your picks. We'll have that for you guys next week. But bear me. Let's dive in this week. Let's dive in because it is, again, Saturday, December 27th, 2 days after Christmas. 8 p.m. Eastern, 1 hour prior pre-show for the buy-in or zero, whatever they call it. We don't do the tailgate, remember. They haven't announced those yet, but they will, but we're not covering it. The fun thing with this one is, with World's End, is there is the Continental Classic. So the matches we know as of right now, at least, Impact Night, TNA time, December 18th, about 9:30 p.m. TNA is not this show, but we know there's going to be at least the world title, which has 4 people in it. MJF got added. We have the Continental Classic semi-finals, 2 matches, and then the final. And then there's the women's tag as well, and the women's title with Hayter and Statlander. So at least there's that. With that MJF situation, that's a key thing to remember, because if matches change after the picks page goes up, but before the deadline, which should be 5 or 4 p.m. Eastern, an hour before the pre-show starts, if it happens beforehand, it just changes. Like it is modified and it goes away. If it happens after, you're zeroed. So here's the best example. If we had our picks page up 2 days ago before Dynamite, and it was triple threat, Hangman, Swerve, and Joe, and then Dynamite happens and MJF gets added, we would just erase that match from the card, and now there's 6 matches down to 5. And if you had 6 on that one, well, you just don't have a 6-pointer. Your top is the 5 like everybody else. Bear me say you had 1 point on Joe, and that match went away. Okay, well, whatever your 2-pointer is now your 1. Your 3-pointer is your 2. Your 4 is your 3, etc., etc. So it all shifts down. That's if changes happen after the picks page is out, which is not yet, and before the deadline. If something happens after the deadline, which is, again, 4 or 5 Eastern on Saturday, forgive me on not knowing which time it actually is, but I believe it'll be 8, 7, 6, so keep that in mind. Afterwards, it's just gone. So if you put 6 points on Joe and the match changed because he cashed in after the deadline, it's 0. And if I put 1 on Hangman, it's 0. There's no negative for getting it wrong. You just don't have that 6-pointer or 4-pointer or whatever anymore. It's just poof, gone. I say that because you never know what they'll do with the Continental Classic. We do presume to know going in who the finalists, or at least the block finalists, will be, because there's the gold winner versus the blue runner-up, and then the blue winner versus the gold runner-up. We presume we'll have those names solid going in, at the very least, after Dynamite that week. Then the picks page goes up. Then there's the finalist match between the winners of those two matches. So the pixel that'll be very interesting. I may be mistaken here, but I do believe if you pick, say it's whomever from this side, whoever from this side, the finals match, you don't have to like put your name in. I believe it's it's the winner of this or the winner of that. So if you say Moxley and Okada, I'm just spitting it out there, and you pick Moxley's winning, but then over here in the final you put the winner of Moxley and Okada. That's your pick here. Well, cool. If Okada goes, you don't get these points, but you still might get these. I may be misspeaking. I'll clarify that next week after CT probably sees this. But keep that in mind. It is going to be when you see the picks page. It'll be laid out. You'll know exactly if I'm right or wrong. But I'm blathering on. Bear me. Let's look at the card for World's End very quickly because we'll do our final next week. But we do have the world title. Red defending against me. My first world title shot. I am fingers crossed hoping to win that. No offense, Red, but I want the belt. We'll do our picks next week, Barry. Don't forget. The Canadian title, it is a Watson Rules match. Jonathan C.T. Martin defending against J.J. Rocky. The tag titles, it is Catharsis, Kai Hurt and Haley Blackbriar defending their Continental Tag Team Championships against Daisy Noel and Jonathan Monroe. It's Christmas time. Daisy Noel should win that. I don't know if it's based on Christmas, but Perry Noel, there you go. The American title, I do have what this match will be. We'll come back to this, but it is a stipulation to be announced versus an opponent to be announced for the GMSG defending his American championship. The Arbiters facing Matt Zion, Dedrick Cyrus versus James Blake, Hiroshi Moses versus Mark Harper. A Brass Knuckles ladder match, Cam Popplestone versus Hunter Williams, Lucifer versus Morgan Clare, and Eli versus Ralantando. Then on the kickoff, these ones are bigger. The Call of the Kaiju, Sheriff Dog and Mac and Cheese versus Kevin Dynamite and Monkey Bong. The Light of the Cult, Danny Delight Jordison and Kurt Cult versus the Round Tables, Captain Krulix Blackwell and Jackson Myrtle. Bastion versus Orstella. Gold Rush's Atlas Kiyama and Will Colt versus Monster Mash's Memories and Wookie. Luke Gray versus Papa Snooch. Broken Nerd versus CM Carlito. Jut Jut versus Mark Steele. A non-title match with the Euro champ El Cid versus the Gaffer. Boone Jaw versus Pushino. Odin versus Omega G, and more. So let's do the and more. Bear me. I'm going to start out strong with our American Championship match. How about that?
Yeah.
Because the other match is yours. So you'll get yours last. The GMSG will be defending his FPL American Championship in a Miracle on 34th Street. Oh, I almost got through it. A Miracle on 34th Street fight hardcore match against X. How do you feel about that?
That's a good match. I'm going to go with the GMSG, though.
I am as well. I'm leaning towards him for that one. I've got your match to announce, Beer Me, but what have you got to announce?
I've got 3 matches. They're all kickoff. But
so is mine. So let's do all 3 of yours, and then we'll come back to your match. So we'll do that one last.
Okay. All right. So all 3. Okay. I have Eddie Chairshot Wood taking on Supreme Rock.
I'll go chair shot on that.
I will too. I have Aiden Mack taking on Cammy Cat.
Aiden Mack has been very strong lately. I'll go with him.
Same. And I have 3J Platinum taking on Bane the Bissa.
Bane.
I'm gonna go 3J.
Okay. Bear me. You are going 1-on-1 with Rab.
Oh my guy.
It's AEW, so it's not exactly his forte, but
I'm gonna pick myself, but I will probably lose.
I'm picking Rab. No offense, Rab's been good, and it's a bigger card, so I'm gonna go with Rab on that. So, but I think you'll probably win that. Just it's AEW, and he's not as confident on those ones, I find, and it's got the Continental Classic, so much more room for error on that. So,
me and him will get match of the night.
Probably, yeah. That's usually how that goes. So there you go. But that's all we got, guys. Again, the next show will be for Christmas time. We'll probably put it up like Christmas Eve or something. I don't know. We'll figure out the timing on that one as far as when to put it out. We'll record it earlier than that. But it is Saturday, December 27th, 8 p.m. Eastern is the main show. 7 o'clock is the pre-show. Again, not the tailgate. We don't cover that as long as it's on Max only. We've got to be available. But then the deadline is 6 o'clock Eastern. We're going to say it till we're blue in the face and have reminders come out all week long. Please get your picks in for this, guys. We do hope to see you there. And, yeah, Beer Me, anything else before we go here?
Nothing I can think of. just thank you for listening, and we'll see y'all next week.
Yes, yes. Next week for the last one of the year, because after that, I mean, depending, we might have one the 31st. I realize, depending on that one, like New Year's. So we might have one sneaking in afterwards, depending on the timing of it. I just kind of realized, or it's the first one of the year. We'll figure that one out as we get there. We truly don't know what timing we're going to do yet. So there you go. But you can find out on Frontline League on X or Frontline Prediction League here on YouTube. And like, favorite, subscribe, all that fun stuff. We do appreciate that. And yeah, we'll leave it there, guys. Have a good night. See you next time.